Well, hello, everybody. And we have a chat box open if people would like to type in any questions if they have during the course of the session, please feel free. We'll give it another minute. It's not quite 7 o'clock, but we'll be starting soon. Well, this is lovely. I'm recognizing so many names. That's so great. I love that. And I see an old friend and student, Patricia. I think she's on. That's awesome. Whom I have not seen in so long. Okay, well, good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock, and we're doing our free online Zoom session through the Arts Council. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us in this painted fun thing that we do. We have Claudia, Mahima, and Janelle all available here. You might not see the video, or you might, but you'll see that the three of them are panelists, and they will be available on chat. And if I miss, a question or two or something, they will catch it and bring it to my attention or answer questions. All three of them have been painting for a long time. They've been taking my watercolor classes for a long while, and it's just fantastic to have them here. So thank you, guys. Janelle, Mahima, and Claudia. You guys should be able to recognize who that is by seeing the word panelist. Let's see. All right, beginning now. I hope all of you can see the images, or you have them in your email whenever that came through from Melissa from the Arts Council. I'm very happy that we're doing a beach scene. It's one of my favorite things to do. If you can see this, I'm going to try and see if you guys can sort of see that I have my reference on my iPad. I know a lot of you do a lovely setup for yourselves. I've seen photos. I see Robin Watson saying that they don't see the reference photo. Yeah, if it was not in your email or whatever, one of the panelists is going to put it into the chat, and you should see it and be able to save it. As we wrote in the email, you can use your own beach images. Like, you have a photograph of your kids frolicking in the sand, or a bunch of lovely beach umbrellas. That's all you need. The core idea today, and for which you guys should be seeing the reference photo that was in the original invite, but also you should be seeing an image soon from someone, either Janelle or Claudia, or somebody will put it onto the chat box. I wonder if, Janelle, did you manage to get the images in the chat box?
We're putting them in right now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that's great. And you should be able to see the reference photo and my version that I painted a long time ago at the beach. All right, I'm going to start doodling, okay, guys? So you don't have to start painting right away. Please take it easy. This whole painting is going to be so relaxing. I'm looking at the first, the image with, I'm actually looking at both images. So there's a whole bunch of lovely shapes and color in one. And then in the other one, the one with the green and blue towels, you'll see the difference. I think one of them has a blue umbrella with a guy sitting with a white hat and a faded distant background, I think like a perch or some kind of a beach, whatever that is. I don't know what that is.
Lifeguard
a pagoda.
station.
Lifeguard station? Okay, it's a lifeguard station. Yeah, I think it's got like a pagoda top. And then, oh, there we go, guys. You have your images coming in now. Please let us know if you have any more issues on that image front. All right, and the second photo reference that I gave you guys has a very bright, bold blue umbrella, let's say, not faded as much, with some beach towels in the front and fewer arms and legs. So like I promised, we're going to try and deconstruct arms and legs and make them very simple. I'm also pretending like I'm actually at the beach and I'm using whatever colors I have on hand, which means that you have a box of paints maybe, or you have something smaller to work with, or you have one of these boxes that has a bunch of paints on them. Anything that you have will work for this particular beach scene. The only thing you do have to mix up a little bit of, which is why you need some mixing space usually, is a little bit of skin tone. I like to prepare my skin tone ahead of time and keep it ready. So for example, right in here, I have some yellow already mixed up. And I'm going to bring in some burnt sienna. Let's see, where's my burnt sienna? There we go. And I'm just bringing in a couple of browns here, just keeping it ready, really pale. I also want to tell you guys about this fantastic sketchbook. It's by US Art Supply. It's 140-pound watercolor paper, really stiff, lovely stuff. And I'm going to just show you what skin tones I have on this. I would happily use this at the beach. That's one skin tone. A slightly pinker skin tone, let's say, is this one where I mix in a little bit of, you can take some permanent rose. Let's see. You can take permanent rose or alizarin crimson, mix in a tiny touch of yellow. You get this color. You get a bit more of a pink tone like this. So these are some of the colors you should probably keep ready so that you have some skin tones on hand. And if you don't have all the colors I mentioned, please go in, like just look at your palette and say which colors come closest to some of the skin tones I might see around me on the beach. And try and simulate that. If you have questions, again, please do write. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Janelle, for taking care of all of that. Awesome. So I think Kathleen and Heather, guys, I hope you can see that Janelle did put a file. Now it could be that if you're on a phone, you're doing Zoom on a phone, sometimes things like that can affect that. And if you do check back to the email, it might be easier so Janelle doesn't have to email every person here. But if you check your email, that Melissa Kusin, Kuscin, I believe, from the Arts Council, when you registered for this, they sent you a little info packet with my information, like I told you guys, what paints or what brushes, etc. And it had the reference photos in there. So you may want to search your email and quickly pull that up. All right. Like I said, I'm going to keep touching this little book here. I'll keep it over here so you guys can kind of see it. And that way you'll see what colors I'm using. All right, let's get going. So my first thing, where do I want the ocean? Do I want the ocean? If you see my painting, for those of you who can see it, I kind of put the water at the midpoint in one of them, and in one of them, which is the one with the people that looks like this, the ocean horizon line is higher. I would say in this case, I want to keep the ocean line a little higher. And I know it seems like, well, how do you make stuff up like that? Well, I've been to the beach a million times and I observe and I paint there. So I'm going to make this up a little bit as I go along, but you'll find that you'll figure it out too by looking at those reference photos. So I'm taking some really watered down like this, really pale blue. Just any old blue will do right now. And like I said, today's is not going to be about using a specific color. It's more about getting the color value correct. It's really important to get the color value correct, which means that, let's say I choose a different blue right now. I'll just show you what that means really quick. Now I'm using a different blue, and I'm not even naming them because in naming them, you guys are going to get caught up in what's the name of that color she said. Just use these different blues. Look at the two different blues. One is warmer, one is cooler, and these blues are both about the same value. They're very, very pale. So your value of the color, the paleness of the color, or the darkness of the color, that's what you're going to focus on, not so much which color. Now, the other thing you may have noticed when you see, oops, excuse me, the sun is streaming in. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right. when you look at these beach images and you see my paintings, I hope you notice how fresh the colors are. Um, I notice at the beach, it's often these really vibrant colors. So I want to make sure I don't muddy my colors. That's one thing to keep in mind. All right, I'm going in. I hope you guys are following along. All right, so I'm just going to draw a very pale line here. This is just something to keep me grounded in terms of like, all right, that's kind of where I have my horizon. Okay, that's it. All right, now to go in and say, I would like something to ground me in this scene. And I'm looking through and I feel like I'm just going to put really quick a shape here. Now, when I look at these shapes, you do have to consider a little bit of the shape of the umbrella. So I'm just starting off with a simple umbrella. Let's just go in, took a little like pinkish purple or something. And remember, I am going to put these in as very simplified shapes. So if you see these looking almost childlike shapes, just be aware that's why. Now, if you see that little shape, it's from, if you just switch, there's only two photo references that I sent you. One of them has this pink umbrella and you'll see it immediately. Do you notice this little negative shape I left? And that's because there's a lovely colorful umbrella in front of it and maybe I can pull that in. Now, you see all of these shapes in 1 hour to pull together all of these shapes may seem daunting, but you'll start to see how I'm just playfully bringing in elements. And it goes fairly fast, guys. So I'm going to pick up some, I have a little bit of lavender lying around. So I use lavender on the beach a lot. I noticed that it's a lovely color to have for people's bathing suits and so on. So see that little shape? So that immediately informs you that there's some kind of an umbrella, right? Our brain says that's umbrella. So we want to always create these lovely illusions of the things that we see around us. So let's see. All right, another little trick in watercolor. When you can, leave a little bit of a white space or white line. It adds a lot of freshness to the image. It brings in sunlight, it brings in transparency, it gives you an opportunity to go in and add more color. Now, you may think, man, those are some very pale colors, but also remember, this is a little further back in the picture plane. And what is our picture plane? Our picture plane is this entire page. We have the background, the midground, and the foreground. The background, I'm not too worried about. It's going to be some sky color or something. The midground has to have a lot of compressed shapes. Why? Because usually when you're at the beach or any big space, you're going to notice that things further back are going to look smaller. They're going to look a little hazy, a little compressed, things like that. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I noticed that there's this lovely big blue umbrella here that would be a nice focus point for this painting. It's got some funky little images on the edges, and then right underneath that is that guy. And I really want to get that guy in. I think I like the way he's sitting there. Best part, I don't have to draw all of his arms and legs. It's like you just get a little bit of it, which is good for me. Okay. And like I promised, I do want to make arms and legs easy, and I want to show you how. Another trick, if you see one of my paintings, I sent you two of mine. One is a big old like mass of shapes, and one of them is a tiny group of people. It's not people, actually, there were a bunch of teenagers sitting under this big yellow umbrella that was half broken and had clothes and towels hung inside. It was a massive umbrella. It was beautiful, the little scene. I want you to notice how when you focus on people and you bring the entire painting becomes about that, then yes, the arms and legs and shapes matter a little bit more. So when you're painting beach scenes, make it as messy as you can, as crazy as you can, and you'll have a better chance of hiding anything that doesn't work. Hema's trick for today. Okay, so just trust me on that. Yeah, have fun with saying, oh, oops, but no oops, because you can just go in and cover it up, put a towel over somebody's leg or something. Okay, let's get, I wonder which blue I want. I've been thinking about which blue I want for that lovely umbrella. I wish I had some cerulean here, which for some reason I don't seem to have. But This is good. This is a good problem. So if Hema doesn't have the color, what is she going to do? Because I know it's going to happen to any of us, like out there on the beach. Okay, I have a really pale sky blue that I don't use very often. Um, I feel like if I want loads of big, colorful shapes, maybe it's a good idea to put this huge shape in a very light color. Might be an interesting approach. All right. Now, umbrellas look like they are incredibly hard. I know it feels like that, but we will conquer the umbrella shape. So I'm gonna, first of all, I'm not gonna be bothered with that lovely whatever edge it has. I just want to know that I get the spokes, those spokes on the umbrella, those are kind of important. Because if you don't get the spokes, you don't get it quite right. So let's just focus on that, and we'll bring in a colorful edge to that umbrella eventually. Now that's a very pale, not vibrant, definitely not a Hema color. But I think I like the idea of starting with this as a focus and then going crazy with all the other colors. It might be a fun, big, light shape, light value shape, light color-wise as well. All right. You see that umbrella shape, it's now being sort of decoded, if you will. And I know I have to get something more here so that I can put in the rest of the umbrella, which is kind of, if you can bear with me for a second to just, I don't know if you can see it because of the light and the way the camera is, but you'll see this come up. I'm going to lighten some of that just to give you an idea that there's some lines required here so that it can look like an umbrella, right? So we'll get to that, is my point. Don't worry about it. All right, time to start building this little puzzle that we have of skin color and all kinds of things. Time to go into some skin color because I want to get this guy. So let's see where he is. There's a stick, what do you call the center spoke, or what is it called? The umbrella, whatever thingy comes down here. And I feel like somewhere there, I'm gonna put a dot there just to ground myself. And we have a hat. He has a white hat. That's very annoying. I would prefer color. Well, I'm gonna make it a pink hat. Why not, right? With a pink hat. So I'm gonna go in, create just a little bit of a shape. I do want a nice clean shape on this guy because he is a bit of a center for my painting. So let's just make sure that we get him sort of, get a nice hat. Does he have too much of an angle? Not too much. I'm just gonna bleed in. Now remember, he's in the shade, this part of his face or whatever. So even if the colors bleed, it won't matter. And that's the other fun part of painting on the beach. I want you guys to sort of embrace the colors bleeding into each other and figuring it out as you go. So let's say that's his face. All right, there we go. Now it looks like the hat may have stopped a little too short, so I'm gonna bring it back in a bit. I hope you guys can see that. I'm not so sure about the shape of that part, but I'll correct some of that shape with a sharper, darker line later. Now, you can't put in his goggles right away. You can't put in anything. By the way, just going back to a very simple brush, it's a size 10. It doesn't even have a great point. One of the reasons I'm using this and not my usual favorite, my absolute favorite is this long round, but I'm not using it mostly because most people don't have a long round. You're at the beach, you're probably using like a travel brush that looks something like this, which screws off like this, goes in and stays beautifully, and it has like a little aerating hole in the back. So, you'll be using very simple tools. You may not even have time to switch, brushes. I was joking and not joking, actually half joking, but telling my students how one of the best ways to learn to do watercolors is to have a bunch of kids around who are hungry, because then you're definitely going to be on the clock saying, oh my gosh, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. They're coming back, and that's how you learn to paint fast. All right, now let's get his arm. And I'm just sort of winging the arm. I squint a lot when I paint. I know you guys can't see me squinting right now, but I just want y'all to know that I squint a lot. When I squint, it immediately decides things for me shape-wise. It makes me recognize what's darker, what's lighter. So you see that it's kind of looking like a figure, right? So that's all you have to think about right now. Now, while I wait for that to dry, because I can't go in just yet, I can only do a few things. I can sort of create some kind of a hand shape that sort of reads hand. And I can see there's another hand back there that I just want to get in. And there's a bit of a chest that I need to get in. So I'll just do something like that and leave it. Okay, I know it doesn't look perfect, but we're going to leave it because that's the whole point today. Now, do you see that his torso actually is also hidden back here? And it's something like this, and you can bleed it in because that's how, if you get nice big shapes all bleeding in together in watercolor, and you keep the values light as we are right now, because it's the beginning of the painting, it will be easy to go back in later and correct stuff. All right, while I wait for this to dry, I'm going to tackle the legs a little bit. So I see that his body is in the right shape. He's got a bit of a paunch. So I like keeping that little bit of a curve. And then his shorts come over here and his arm is almost resting on his knees. Now, if you make anything big, let it be the legs and arms, not the head, okay? If you make a human body in watercolor, especially when you're not doing an absolute hyper-realistic type of thing, it's okay to make the legs and arms a little long, but you should not be making the head big, because that looks really awkward and it's very hard to come back from that. So that's kind of his shape. And he probably needs another, I see the other foot. I kind of didn't notice it before. So I'm just gonna put that in. Looks like this part comes from here, and then that leg is coming from behind. So, and if I've missed up something, it'll come in with the shorts, we'll cover it all up. So it's fine. All right, time to have some fun with some towels, guys. You ready? So I'm just gonna put some quick shapes in. I'm gonna pretend that this is all reading towel. Now, when you have printed towels, you tend to have this really sharp contrast between one color and the next. Just the way things are printed. So you don't want all of your colors bleeding into each other. I hope that makes sense. We're going to pretend like this one is on a chair that's like some kind of a red something is underneath. Sorry, was that a question? Maybe a question? Okay. And let's see. Oh, some of it bled. If you have a nice sharp point on your brush, you can handle most shapes easily. And when I go to the beach, I also like to take colors like this. So see this color here? Isn't that a lovely color? It's like a weird aqua, but so many towels have that color. It's nice to have that. Just a little funky shape there. Going back into the back side where I see a towel draped over something, why not put like a little box there? And it'll give me an opportunity to put some lavender and purple together, which is always a very nice, vibrant option. And I see a lovely chair here. Now I want to bring that chair in. It's always nice to have a good beach chair somewhere in the scene, right? So let's do this. Oh, it has a brown arm. So wait, I'm going to put some kind of a color there. And just get the angle right, guys. If you get the angle right, everything else works. Just put a few lines. And there's a big old red or orange or something towel hung. So I'm just going to put, and the other arm comes there. So that means something like that. Let's give it, so having multiple strong colors with you when you go to a beach to paint, because if you read the email, part of it was that I wanted people to have an opportunity to just quickly take some colors with them and run to the beach and paint. So for that to happen, I was trying to say that we should have, bright colors and so on. It does help to take specific colors to the beach that you know you can use quickly on the beach. All right, so definitely help yourself there. Don't just take one thing and like just one range of colors. So I put in a slight dull green in there. It sort of just adds the feeling of like a shadow, like there's a bit of a shadow underneath. So as you can see, this is starting to build up. Now that umbrella is dry over there. So I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to get a tiny bit of detail. Just put some shapes in there for now. I know I could do a better job with that, but I'm going to let it be because it's slightly wet and I didn't realize. All right, another vibrant color on the side, maybe. Let's see. That got a little too bright. And because it's further away in the distance, we'll just put that. I also feel like there's a bit of red hidden there, so I'm just gonna put that in. What else? Oh, and sometimes these umbrellas have like little edges, which is nice to put in because then it kind of creates a bit of a nice design. So there we go. They do read umbrella, so that's enough. Now I love this one umbrella that has the stripes. It's in one of the, I think it's in the other photo reference. So I'm gonna try and go into that. Like some people do have these older colorings which are browns and greens and so on. So I'm just gonna see if I can. Okay, there we go. And a nice contrast to that will be this orange, which I would prefer it not to bleed in, but I'll just put this in here to remind myself. Yeah, and the other thing, guys, that happens often on the beach is that when you're doing a painting like this and you have to work pretty rapidly, people move, things happen. So let's assume that I had an opportunity to do this guy, but now he's moving, and I'm like, oh my God, will I get to know, what the right shape was? And see, just by putting that line in there before he moves completely, I'm going to pretend like he's going away. No. So I've got a year, and I've got some, let's say I'm going to get in quickly some dark values around his head to just get some hair. And just put that in there, sort of, boom, done. I also feel like he needs a bit of a darker value here just because he's in the shade of his own hat, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm going to have to wait for this to dry, that's for sure. All right, and another quick dark value, just a little bit on the arm. It helps. A little bit underneath on his torso, and definitely the two legs. So let's see if I can get this right. There we go. Just a few shapes. Okay. Next, I want to have him in a really, oh, you know what? Not bright trunks. Let's make them dark trunks. So I'm just pulling up some really dark blue that I have here. I'm not going to do whatever's dividing his shorts because of the, I think it's because of some kind of chair or something that's right in front. I'm just going to pretend like that doesn't bother us. So there we go. That's his shape done. Let's get one more figure so you have, I love this woman who's sort of leaning over in the other image. So if you see that, I'm going to give her a slightly pinker tone of skin. So let me just get that ready, which means something like this. No, not quite. Sorry, my mistake. Something more like this. All right, and a little touch of yellow in there. Oh, excuse me. All right, there we go. Pinker skin. All right, I'm going to pretend like she's sitting behind. So I will put in a towel or something here. And let's see if we can pull her off. So we have her behind him. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than he is. And she is bending over. So I'm going to just make these very simple shapes. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, there we go. That's her legs sort of suspend, like in the sand. We'll put in her little bikini thing in a few minutes. Let's make her head just what I'm covering even her hair right now with the same color. Don't worry about it. And we'll just pretend like she, oh, my mistake. I think her shoulders need to come up there. And that's her. And we're going to pretend like she's helping somebody, maybe a little kid. There we go. Now that's a weird shape, right? But do you see how there's so much potential in just making little shapes like that? The more shapes you make like that of human figures, you can go back in, it's dry, you can have some fun. I have a slight accident happening here where the guy's leg is now bleeding in with the shorts. Take a little tiny dot of paper, pick it up, and let it be. Imagine there's a bit of blue reflection on his skin from something. Okay, don't worry about it. Keep moving on. All right, remember that lovely red shape, and I wanted to put some lavender. So I'm just cleaning my brush, getting some of that same lavender paint that I love so much. And this time, touching it a little bit to sort of a bluish purple cast here on the side, because that's what's going to make it look. So I'm not even trying to make sense of it. Do you see how they're just random shapes? As long as they're all bigger on this side and smaller behind, they will start to make sense. I'm going to put in a tiny yellow. Should I make it yellow? Yeah, I think I'm going to use yellow. So I'm going to pretend like this guy's towel here is a bright yellow. I don't like the idea of doing a white towel. And I'm just going to pretend that it's hanging over there. And let's give it a bit of colorful something. There's something, I don't know what it is. Focus more on the fact that he needs a shape to sit on. And so just leak some color in, and there you go. Now, the armrest is going to make or break that chair. So don't put it in now. Wait for it to be completely dry and then put in the armrest. Now, do you see how in the meantime, people may have moved, whatever, chairs are moving, whatever. As long as you are in a crowded section, you can keep adding elements into the scene and build a scene. And be aware, elements that are closer to you are bigger, smaller elements as you go behind are smaller, right? Not smaller elements, sorry. All elements going further back are smaller. All right, I am now going to go in and finish one or two of these things. So this guy here definitely needs some yellow, I feel, right here. Just pop it up a little bit. Let's also put in the other arm, which I believe is somewhere here. And let's also put in, let's get a head. All right, I'm gonna just put in a bit of a head here. What color should we make it? A bit of burnt sienna and orange. Oh, that's probably too. You know what? I'll make it a dark skin color. So I have that here. Let's see, something like this. All right, I don't see any questions after all those image questions, so I hope everybody's enjoying. Okay, I'm gonna get a face in here just behind this person, this person's towel, this guy who's sitting here. And I'm using this from the other image because we're working from photographs and not from a real scene. So you'll have to make things up, so to speak. I'm just gonna put the hand like this. That's it. That's all, nothing else. And we'll go in and get some black, something with black hair sitting behind. Oh, there we go. Something like that. Just a person in the back. Boom. Now you have 3 figures in there. I'm gonna go back to this lady who, she looks like she's dry, but she's not. Okay, so let's not mess with her yet. Going back to this umbrella here. And I'm gonna put in a wash of some little lovely aqua blue that I have now, which I didn't have before. And I'm just gonna create some shapes here. Doesn't matter right now. Again, putting in a couple of pieces of color and letting it be. And then we're gonna come back in with some, just put some yellow. Now, normally I would say, oh my God, plan for the, lighter colors to go on the darker. Wait, watch all of that. it doesn't matter. You're on the beach, you do not have time. You have to make quick assessments and flow with it. So let's see, what else do I want in here? Oh, I wanted this one. Where's my orange? Give me a second, I have to find my crazy orange. I have a lovely orange that I would like to add in here and just pretend like there's a big old towel again hanging on some chair. And maybe that guy is sitting in front of somebody who's against that. I love this towel shape, but I also wonder what's going to come behind it. Do I want a couple of legs? So I see a person sitting. I think for this one, I'm going to bring it in. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can make the pink tone skin color that I was talking about before. All right. It's 7:35 and I'm not even finished. So I'm going to try and pump up the speed here. So you guys have a finished painting to look at least, even if you're not quite there yet with me. There's a leg. And then let's add a bit of a darker value and just go behind. I hope you're at least getting a sense like there's lots of ways to break these shapes down and have fun with them. Let's imagine that she's wearing something purple. And I'm going to just quickly lean my paper a bit so it doesn't leak completely. I'm just going to say that she's wearing something purple and she's sort of lying down. And then there's a huge towel or some, oh, you know what? A big umbrella. That's it. So let's make a nice old big umbrella. And this big umbrella is covering her. And it's a vibrant pink.
Mhm.
And let's just put that in there and just make a shape. Done. Now I'm going to go back in and complete that other umbrella I was telling you about, the orange guy. And let's just put something like that. So there's that guy's umbrella definitely is about to fall down, but that's okay. And then we need a pole on this umbrella. So I'm gonna, let's see, choose a gray. Now it is important to get that just so, because if you don't get it just so, it won't look like it's in the center, right? Oh, I like how it's going straight over his head. Kind of funny. And I want a dark line to delineate some of the shapes within. That's it. Okay. Let's put a yellowy, bright yellow shape here somewhere. I feel like that's important. It's always good to have like some kind of a colorful shape there. And I'm going to take a bigger brush now. I usually carry a mop with me wherever I go because mops are so effective at getting big swaths of color. And I'm just going to quickly go in and say, this is my sky there. And just going to create some shapes. Nothing too crazy, okay, guys? Just go in and just trust that you're going to have some fun shapes no matter what you do. There we go. That's it. That's my sky. Okay. I might go in and just lift some of that paint or color if I feel like it's a bit much. There we go. There we go. Yeah, nice. Yeah. All right, some action there. And now I want a really strong color. I usually build this with viridian green and some ultramarine blue because that gives me the strongest aqua ocean color that I love, which is very strong. You can use phthalo blue even, or, but something moody. I like bringing in some mood into this fresh scene, okay? So just gonna pretend like we can see most of the ocean there, even though I'm sure we can't. And I'll just do this. That's it, okay? Bring in touch of blue. and a bit of sideways, use the side of a brush and a bit of dry brush technique. Oops, I used my pointed brush. Apologies. Let's go. And I'm going to put in one little shape here, just to sort of something, what would go against that really well? Make something bright like this. I'm just going to pretend like there's some kind of a umbrella shape there. And if that happens, that just happened to me, which is it got into the sky, little volcano happening there, just lift it. Now, there you go. Just tried it and completed my little umbrella shape there, pretending like there's an umbrella cutting the horizon shape. Now, these are kinds of tricks that you'll only get as you keep painting, which is how can I make an interesting shape and make an interesting painting, or what can I add to make something work better, etc. That is a much longer process, and it's a good idea to paint often and figure those things out. All right, there's a few strokes just to say there's somewhere out there the ocean. And now to put in, there's usually people have these very bright blue umbrellas. Have you noticed that? They'll always have something, and at least one of them will be folded up and just be hanging there like, I don't know, not being used. So let's just put some bold blue shapes. What else? Oh yeah, one will always be, there's always a striped umbrella somewhere, and it'll have some aqua. There we go. And we need some sand color, don't we? So to make sand color, usually I carry some buff titanium, etc. But if you don't have that, I highly recommend just making a wash of permanent rose. Any kind of slightly warm sandy color, something like that, works. You can use yellow ochre. There's so many different ways to do this. So I'm just going to bring in some sand color here and there, wherever that we need. Hang on. I'm filling in some of the spaces, guys. All right. The one thing that I really wanted to get in, which I still can do it, I think. Let me try. I want to bring in that little shape of the stars. On the towel. It was just so sweet to see that. So I thought, let me get that. Such a classic, you'll always see a towel with some stars on it. So it's nice to have that come in. I hope you're all having fun doing this and things are going well. If you want to see more of this sort of, how do we do this sort of a feeling, you want to figure this out, I recommend going to the beach with your supplies and just doing it. Just, sit under an umbrella, take your time and just observe these shapes. Maybe download this particular session will be shared on the Arts Council YouTube and on my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see it again. I'm just going to put some red stripes. I don't think I got a very good red, but let's see. I'll try again. There we go. Just put some stripes. Like it's being used. There's some lovely shapes there, right where that guy is. May not have been the best choice, but I'm going to run with it. Now I'm going to pretend like all of this is on some kind of huge chair that somebody's got. There we go. And it's just there, like almost like a backdrop for that guy. All right, time to go put this woman's bikini on here. So let me get some black. Where's my black? Yeah, black is a very useful color to have on hand. I usually don't bother with black, but black is a very useful color when you're dealing with figures and being outside, etc. So let's just make sure that she's got some. I could have done that better, but you guys will do better. There we go. Just something on her, right, to create a shape. And let's give her some brown hair, some dark brown hair. And sorry if you can hear my dog, it's because my son, I think, had to leave the house and he's worried about him. Okay. I'm trying to get a very sharp point on this slightly fat brush so I can give Mo a pair of glasses. There we go. Now, what about this guy? Remember him? We were going to give him a pair of glasses. So let's do that. There we go. Just something to ground his. Yeah, there we go. That's enough info for him, right? Now to add some detail, it's always fun to go in and add some little fun details on top of it. All right. Time-wise, guys, we're at 7:45. I'm just entering you full through. Can't wait for myself to roll with it tomorrow. Yay! Yeah, great, Linda. Yes, guys, and please, if you do end up going to the beach and you use any of the techniques or things that we did here, please tag me. I'm on Insta, and it'll be fun to, see what happens when you're there. All right. What about one beach butt sticking out? I really like the idea of doing one beach butt. I always have these photographs. They're very annoying, but they end up happening. Somebody is leaving the scene. Isn't that always fun? So let's do one here. Just as another quick little shape to get in. This person is leaving the scene, and they have some colorful, I don't know, some kind of bathing suit on, and I'm just going to draw. I do not, yeah, guys, so this is the other trick. And I'm going to say this because I myself am very chunky. I love the chunky shapes of figures. And one of the reasons I find them the most fun to paint and draw is because you don't have to deal with bone structure. So if you paint babies, you'll find that the little chubby thighs, they're the best. Yeah, thank you for laughing. Thank you. Somebody's laughing because it's, yeah, I don't mean to be rude or whatever. It's just really fun. It's like this, little, so there we go. Somebody's leg. Okay. I hope y'all like that little beach butt sticking out there. You got to find ways to, how you say, sort of use the shapes to your advantage. I think we always need one little yellow, how about one little yellow, what do they call, beach bucket or whatever? So let's just draw some stuff around this woman here, like a little claw there or something. How about some, I wish I'd chosen a photo. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's a beach umbrella that had a whole bunch of lovely little marks on it or something. So let's just choose one that has a pattern like this, and that adds its own drama to there we go. And if you add now a tiny bit of green to this, it's just nice little fun, break up there with. Okay, I know my image looks a slightly faded with this camera light business, but hopefully you guys will be able to see it. All right, I will have to stop painting in about another 7 minutes or so. So I just want to add a few more little arms and legs. Isn't it lovely that they're all hiding under the umbrellas? It's so nice. You can just put in something and it becomes a human body. They're really fun. So let's draw this lovely person here. Their leg is sticking out. Maybe they have another leg. Not maybe they have another leg. Sorry, I mean they have a leg and they're kind of leaning in. Do you see them? That person? And let's draw some kind of a shape for their body, and they're inside that some other umbrella. Ooh, I like that. So let's make another. What shall we do? Ooh, I know. We don't even have to fix it. We don't even have to figure it out. I can just put some kind of a striped structure behind there, and it won't matter. And eventually, if I feel like I can put a cooler box there or make it into something. Now, that guy where he's sitting, there's another person behind. I don't want to get that person, but I want to do another person here standing who's just got these lovely orange pants on. So I think the shape is something like this. And we'll draw them in with some kind of a, let's see, do you want an umbrella or do you want, oh, I know, they're carrying a towel. Okay, and we want some structure near his leg. Remember I was saying that I didn't like the way his leg came out. So I'm just gonna draw some nice sharp lines now. And that will add detail to his figure. And there we go. Now he's a figure. And we should give him a book to read. So let's give him a book. If I draw a negative shape around him, it might be more fun. So let's see, I'm going to draw some kind of a, which color shall I use? Yellow. I think a nice yellow there would be good. So let's draw a negative shape as though there's something in his hand. We don't know what it is. It probably looks like a book now. And there's some kind of a yellow something behind him. There we go. So you can frame different figures as you go along and keep adding, frankly, anything, right? It can just keep rolling. Now, what about the quintessential striped towel on the beach? We need one of those. So let's see where I can pull one in. You know, the kinds that you have where people are lying down and they have a striped towel. Oh, what's underneath this guy's chair? Right. So, all right, I'm going to do one here first. First, let me just do this. Always nice to add those striped towels. And let's give him, there we go. There we go. Something striped. Oh, next is something striped. That wasn't smart. All right, let's bring in some color, something to merge that area, sort of, as though there's a bit of a shadowy something underneath. And some lavender over here, and another shape here, maybe. Okay. Now, to go back to some of that sand in the distance, what if the sand was right there? And what if I put in some red shapes like this? Does it matter? Do we need to know what it is? I don't think so. And let's create another little, I think another little umbrella here. Or maybe we'll just let that bleed like that and leave it. We don't know what it is. Okay, and one there. Okay, time to add some nice sticks because the sticks are what make, you know, that beachy feeling come alive. So let's just, oh, so she, yeah, we'll just put something at her feet. Oh, you know what we didn't give this woman? We didn't give her a chance to have a second leg. So let's get that second leg in there. I think she needs it to be a little pinker. And we'll just put her second leg. Like we'll put some body part in there, like as though there's something. And we'll give her a bit of a shape there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Just something to give some. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I like this woman's this body in here. That's a really fun body to have. Right there, you know, sort of in the picture. All right, going in with some sandy color. And also going to add a quick different color here, different color there, maybe something's happening there. Now, what did I say I wanted to add? I wanted to add a towel. Oh, I know what I forgot. I wanted to add dots. So another thing to do on the beach is to add dots into your pattern making, let's say. And this guy's chair does not have structure, so let's give him a little bit of a dark value there. And the arm, remember he needs an armrest. So let's just give him that, something like that, yeah? And he has something here, and there's another thing there. He's definitely sitting on something. And now to put something bold in front of him, sort of, we don't know what it is, but there's something in there. Maybe a good time to put in some stripes. Oh, I know what. One seagull. How about a seagull, guys? One little seagull. Just something to maybe cover the sky. No, we don't want to draw attention to this, but it's not looking so great, is it? All right, now let's see. Maybe another one here. Put a couple of seagulls there. There's probably more in the sky, but we'll put a couple and let it go. Let's see if I can produce some more of that lovely dark color, because I feel like I lost some of that horizon a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure what I would do. I think usually I have a creative solution of some kind. I may have to think of something for that little bleed. It seems to be bothering me now, but it wasn't bothering me before, so we'll see. I'm also going to add some, like one bold color star here. You'll see star shapes often at the beach, so it's just one of those things people tend to have on there. There we go. And we'll add some pink skin tone, maybe, or maybe some yellow. All right, guys, it's 7:55. How is everybody doing? Janelle, Mahima, I hope it's going well.
We're just all mesmerized by you, Hema.
Huh?
Claudia. I said we're
Hey,
all just
Claudia.
mesmerized by what you're doing.
Do you want to turn my?
Oh, thank you. I hope it's given you enough ideas to go out there and have some fun with this.
There we go. So there's
Oh, look at
exhibit.
that, Janelle. Hang on, Janelle. I need to highlight you. I don't know how to highlight you. How do I highlight Janelle? Oh, I
She's
know what I'm
showing
doing
up.
wrong. Shouldn't I be able to pin Janelle?
Yeah.
Replace the pin. There we go. Yes. Brilliant. That is so great. And now you have plenty of time to fill it in. I know it's a big sheet you've taken on. So Janelle works fast, loose, and big. And it's really lovely because and this has given you enough space to, hey, and that painting that you did is hanging well. It's right in the back. Is that Samir's?
That's Samir's.
Samir's
behind
painting.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. So lovely. That's great. Thanks for sharing. Hang on. I think Mahima is also going to share her piece. So replace the pin. Is that how we do it? Oh no, that was me. Mahima, do you want to show?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Yay. Oh, nice. That is awesome. I love the stripes. I like all of the texture you got in. That's good. And the star. She got the star, guys. The star is good. Oh, and that sky. Yeah.
My colors aren't as bright. I just kind of worked with whatever I had.
Yeah, it's okay.
I definitely see your point about keeping them clean.
Yes. That vibrancy, right? In fact, that's why I like the contrast of that dull, dark ocean. Even in a weird way, sort of everything on the beach is crazy vibrant. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely I can definitely see those colors, even the magenta umbrella. That's great. Claudia, do you want to share yours? Thanks, Mahima.
Not really, but
okay. Yes, I like. So you see how you got that yellow line at the edge of the umbrella? Like I was thinking to myself, I said, I screwed that up in mine, but I'm glad you did it. It's working. And I like the little chair in the foreground. Do you see the one right in the front with the arm? That's a perfect chair. And the woman came out great with, the black bikini. Yeah.
She's a little chubbier than your lady, but she's good.
Yeah. All right. I'm going back to mine, guys. 1 second. Place the pin. All right. So there you have it. There's your beach scene. It's not finished. I know I've got like some spaces, and this woman looks like she's wearing, I don't know, lavender skin or something, but it's fun. And I'm glad I have one figure, like I said, a bit closer, a nice big, very pale umbrella. Maybe some darker values back there would be nice, just to contrast. But I just like the vibrancy. And I think I need a few tiny squished elements, tiny bits, literally making like tinier images. I'll just do one more mark to show you. What I mean is like something like this. Yeah.
Hema, we have a couple questions.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Camilla wants to ask, how did you switch colors so quickly while keeping them bright? And then somebody else, and Christina wants to show hers, but I don't know if we're able to do that.
Hang on. Let me see. Christina, attendees. Christina M, is that right? Or yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can promote a panelist. And I think I may have done it. Okay, can you rejoin as a panelist by any chance, Christina? And if you can, yes, you are. Yay. Okay, replace pin. There you are, Christina M.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to show us your image?
Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yep, there you are. Hello. Oh, lovely. Thanks for saying you'll share. I like the bold red strokes and the colors. Love it.
Thank you.
Can we see it?
Yeah, you're so welcome. Could you see it?
Yeah,
Could you see it? There you go, Claudia.
I think
Can you see it now?
I think she has to talk in order for us to
Oh
see it.
yeah, do you guys see it now? Hi guys.
Yes, if
Yeah,
you're
thank
talking,
you
we can
so
see
much.
it.
This is amazing.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm gonna take it back here, the face pin. Okay, and there was another question. How did I keep the colors fresh? Okay, quick trick, guys. Even when I'm working on the beach, I have a big container of water with a lid. I walk up to the ocean, I spill out my paint water. I'm terrible. I know I shouldn't be doing that. So I only do that at the beach. Everywhere else, I make sure that my paint water goes with me home, because we do have paints with cadmium and so on in it, not good for our groundwater. But just letting you know that when you have a big bunch of water like this, that's the best part. So here I have a brush with paint in it. I dunk it. I literally do this, guys. I don't know if you can see the action. That's it. Done. Boom. And that's how you keep the fresh paint, because as long as your brush is rapidly cleaned, not like in a slow manner, you can quickly switch colors. And the colors I'm using, guys, are just, good old like Winsor and Newton. You can use Cotman. I use Cotman all the time. This one is a favorite with some of my students. It's somebody will remember the name, but it's a Japanese brush paint set. I hope that helps. Mahima, was there any other questions? Because I'd love to answer that before I close the session.
I think that was all.
Okay. Linda said, I just love your choices of colors to complement each other. I always have an issue with values not coordinating. Yes, I see what you mean, but I think that just takes like what if you did this even smaller and chose like 2 umbrellas and 2 towels? That's it. In a smaller, limited capacity, we tend to be bolder in our color choices. So I hope that helps to practice. That is an easy way to do it. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. I'm glad everybody enjoyed. Great. Yes, and please tag me on Instagram, tag the Arts Council. Always happy to hear from everybody. All right, shall we close up? Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Mahima, Janelle, and Claudia. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank
Yay.
you.
See you soon.
All right, see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks very much, everybody. Okay, how do I? Oh, I'm sorry. Carol Arrington raised her hand. I'm so sorry. I couldn't get to you. Please email me or text me. And I have to close this now, and I have no idea how. Okay, thank you.